Welcome back to this intimate conversation with the one and only Jennifer Holliday. When we left off, we were about to get to that solo that changes the course of your career. You rehearsed for this over and over again, but when you nail it, I mean, what was that like? What was the feedback like?
Well, it was something to experience because back then we had out-of-town tryouts. So we were able to perfect everything in Boston.
Okay.
So earlier, the show didn't even have Effie in the second act. So we don't have time to talk about all of that.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't even in the second act.
Glad that was corrected.
Yes. So then, and then I'm telling you, was earlier in the first act. But those people in Boston kept applauding and applauding, and Michael Bennett said, I'm going to have to change this, so I'm going to put it at the end of the first act. And then when he repositioned the song, then that gave me a more way to have Effie sing the song just from her heart.
Yeah.
Before we had to rush it because it was in the middle of the show.
Gotcha. And I have to imagine, I mean, with roots in the church, I mean, you've been singing, you've been moving people with your voice since you were a child, but
Yes.
was there something else that you had to do to tap in that powerful, the emotion that we all feel when we hear that over and over again?
Well, down south, they say she got an old soul.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, because I'm like, you were a teenager
I was
singing
a
that. We still have to go back to
teenager
the fact.
Teenager singing that. I didn't know anything really about love or romance or having to sing a song like that. And so it just really all just began to come together. And Michael Bennett really brought all of that. He taught me everything. I didn't have an acting coach, didn't have a singing coach, none of that. He really just worked with me to create an Effie that he envisioned. I couldn't envision at that
What
age.
a meteoric rise to success. And I know that came with a lot of joy, a lot of fame, and just an incredible spotlight. But you've been very honest about the fact that with all of that fame and that spotlight came real battles and struggles with weight gain and depression.
Yes. Well, depression, back then, we're talking almost 40 years ago. Well, over 40 years ago. People didn't talk about it.
We didn't talk about it then.
Especially in show business. It's better for you to be like in rehab than to go to see a therapist because it's just
really
something.
just the optics of it, the perception, what's she going
having
through.
A mental health. Yeah. It's better for you to be a drug addict or alcoholic, than to actually have those problems. So they didn't talk about it. And no one really knew what was going on.
So you never told anyone?
I just didn't know what was wrong with me. Doing 8 shows a week, only 1 day off. I didn't have any friends. It's not like today you couldn't text people. We didn't have cell phones.
Right.
We didn't have any way of communicating without, actually
So
speaking.
not even your mom. You didn't even tell your mom back home that you were.
No, because I didn't want her to bring me home. I didn't want her to worry about it and say, listen, something's going on. And maybe I should have, when you look back, there's so many things I should have asked for help. I just didn't know.
But you didn't know. You were a young girl. And the weight loss and gain and struggles there in a setting like the entertainment industry that had to compound things, right?
Well, I was
Body
overweight.
images.
Well, I was overweight as a child, and a teenager. But through Dreamgirls, I gained 140 pounds.
Really?
So I ballooned to almost up to 400 pounds. And so it was really a lot. And a lot of it because food became my best friend, my only friend.
Right. That's
and
our
the
medicine
comfort
sometimes
and the
when
love,
we're trying to deal with.
Even though I had lots of applause every night from 1,000 or so people, I'd go home and I'm there by myself having to make sure I nurse my voice so that I'm ready for the next show. So it was a very lonely time, even though a very rewarding time.
So you didn't even talk to your co-stars about this?
No.
Everybody just...
No, because I didn't know what it was, and I didn't want to bother everybody, and I didn't know why I couldn't get rid of it. I didn't know that there was actually a problem. You could actually have a mental health, problem.
Yeah.
Not just the blues or one day of sadness.
Which is why you make such a point now of making sure that entertainers, and not just entertainers, that all of us are tending to our mental health, that advocacy component.
Well, everybody's
so
on it now. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody's aware now, so I don't know if my advocacy helps now, because there's so much other people doing it in the sense, coming forth. So everybody's aware.
But every
of mental
voice,
health.
especially a voice like yours, certainly matters.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I know that there are other causes. There's so many causes that are really special to you. You're an advocate for the LGBT community. Really,
I also have multiple sclerosis.
And multiple sclerosis.
Yes, so
and you were
MS.
diagnosed then when?
When I was 37 years old. So
how did that impact your?
It impacted a lot because I could not walk, and I've been blind twice. And when I moved here to Atlanta, I moved here blind. So,
wow.
Yeah. So, first of all, I can just say that God is good and faithful.
All the time.
And second of all, that Atlanta was a great part of my healing process. And the fact that I was able to get back out there and perform, this has been a very healing community for me here in Atlanta, and the people and their love and their kindness, even without knowing I was a celebrity, because I did not make it a point of saying that.
You have really been very low key
No, I
in
haven't.
Atlanta. I don't know if the rest of the world gets that, but because you have been so much a part of healing with your voice, I wanted just to take a moment to give you your flowers in this space.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you for being honest, and for being open, and for being a model for so many women.
Oh, thank you so much.
And not just in the entertainment industry, because it's one thing to go through these things for years the way you had to quietly, but to come out and talk about obesity and weight gain and weight loss. It just means so much to have watched you in this space.
Thank you.
I'm grateful for you.
Thank you so much.
This village is grateful for you.
Thank you so much. And I just want to encourage people that if you are hurting, I think the greatest regret that I have is that I did not reach out, because I did not think that people would understand or would help me. And so I suffered many, many years that I maybe didn't have to. But now, like I said, God is faithful, and I'm in my third act of my season, and new things are coming all the time.
And we're about to have one of those nice new things coming up here in just a moment when you perform, right?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We will be right back. Hey there, Portia here. Listen, that was a good conversation, wasn't it? Want to see the rest of it? Just go to portiashow.com, scroll down until you see that particular episode. But listen, before you scroll on out of here, I need you to do me a favor, please. Like, comment, let us know what you thought of that episode, and subscribe. And if you already are a subscriber, we sure appreciate you. In the meantime, we'll be sure to see you on the next episode of Portia, and you can catch us weeknights on Fox Soul as well. Tell your friends. Tell them to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.